What if I told you that behind some of the most powerful presidents, senators, bankers, and intelligence officials in American history, there was a secret door? A door marked not with a name, but with a symbol, a skull, and crossed bones. Since 1832, a secret society at Yale University has selected just a handful of students every year and initiated them into a world of silence, ritual, power, and lifelong loyalty. They call themselves the Order. The world calls them Skull and Bones. But the real question is not who they are. The real question is, what do they know? Why do so many U.S. presidents share the same secret college society? Why are its members forbidden to speak about what happens inside? Why is their headquarters called the Tomb? And why does the number 322 appear everywhere in their world? Stay with me, because this story goes far beyond college traditions. The year was 1832. America was still young, raw, expanding, divided. At Yale University, a student named William Huntington Russell returned from Germany. But he didn't come back the same. In Germany, Russell had encountered secret intellectual societies, groups that combined philosophy, ritual, loyalty, and influence. He was fascinated. So he decided to bring something similar to America. Alongside Alphonso Taft, he formed a secret senior society at Yale. Its name? The Order of the Skull and Bones. From the beginning, it was exclusive. Each year, only 15 senior students were tapped. Tapped. Not invited. Not applied. Chosen. And once chosen, your life changed forever. On Yale's campus stands a windowless, fortress-like building. Dark stone, heavy doors, no visible activity. Students call it the Tomb. Inside, it is said to be decorated with skulls, antique weapons, dark drapery, historical artifacts, and symbols that outsiders rarely see. Meetings are held twice a week. Doors locked, curtains drawn, no phones, no recordings. Members swear lifelong secrecy. Even today, in the age of social media, almost nothing verifiable comes from inside those walls. Which makes people wonder, what could possibly require that level of silence? Over nearly 2 centuries, rumors have spread like wildfire. Some former members, decades later, have admitted there are rituals. Strange rituals. Initiation ceremonies that involve confessions, the sharing of personal secrets, symbolic rebirth, the acceptance of death imagery. Some accounts claim initiates lie in coffins during their ceremony. Others say they must reveal their most intimate secrets to the group. No one outside can confirm every detail. But one thing is certain: the society uses psychological tactics. Bonding. Deep bonding. The kind that forges lifelong loyalty. Because once you share everything with someone, they own part of you. The number 322 appears everywhere in skull and bone symbolism. It's engraved on the tomb, printed on their stationery, woven into their traditions. But why 322? There are theories. Some believe it refers to the year 322 BCE, the death of Demosthenes, the Greek orator who resisted power. Others suggest it represents Chapter 2, founded in 1832. Some think it's code for something else entirely. But here's what makes it unsettling. Members often include 322 in their official correspondence, and even personal communications, as if marking allegiance, as if signaling to other members, I am one of you. Now we enter dangerous territory. Several powerful political figures have been members of Skull and Bones. Most famously, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, John Kerry. In 2004, during a U.S. presidential election, both major candidates, George W. Bush and John Kerry, were members of Skull and Bones. Think about that. No matter who won, a bonesman would sit in the White House. When asked about it publicly, both men laughed nervously. They refused to discuss the society. "It's so secret," Bush once said, "I can't talk about it." That statement only fueled speculation. The influence doesn't stop at presidents. Members have gone on to become senators, Supreme Court justices, CIA directors, bankers, media executives. One notable member, William F. Buckley Jr. Another, Henry Luce, founder of Time magazine. When members graduate, they don't just leave. They enter an alumni network. A network with influence in finance, law, intelligence, and media. Critics argue that this creates an invisible pipeline to power. Supporters say it's simply elite networking. But secrecy changes everything. Because when power operates quietly, trust begins to erode. Perhaps the most shocking rumor of all, that Skull and Bones possesses the skull of Apache leader Geronimo. The story claims that during World War I, Bonesman soldiers stationed near Geronimo's burial site stole his remains and brought the skull back to the tomb. In 2009, descendants of Geronimo filed a lawsuit demanding its return. The society denied the allegations. No public evidence ever confirmed the skull's presence. But the rumor refuses to disappear. Why? Because secrecy breeds imagination, and imagination breeds fear. Here's where it becomes fascinating. Secret societies operate on three core principles: exclusivity, ritual, loyalty. When you combine these elements with powerful institutions, you create influence that lasts generations. Members support each other professionally, privately, politically, not through conspiracy, but through trust and shared identity. The real power of Skull and Bones may not be sinister. It may simply be unity. But unity at that level can shape nations. Let's step back. There is no verified evidence that Skull and Bones controls governments. There is no proof of illegal coordination. But secrecy plus power equals suspicion. When leaders refuse transparency, the public fills in the blanks. Legends. Is Skull and Bones a shadow government? Or is it simply an elite fraternity, exaggerated by myth? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. After nearly 200 years, Skull and Bones still selects 15 members each year. Still meets in the tomb. Still protects its rituals. Still produces influential alumni. And still refuses to explain itself. Which brings us to the final question. If it's harmless, why remain secret? And if it's powerful, why pretend it isn't? Somewhere in New Haven, Connecticut, behind thick stone walls, 15 young students gather. Candles flicker, oaths are spoken, secrets are exchanged, and a bond is formed. A bond that could reach all the way to the White House. The Skull and Bones Society began in 1832, but its story isn't history, it's ongoing. And the next Bonesman might already be preparing to lead the world. Do you believe elite secret societies influence global politics? Is secrecy necessary for unity or dangerous for democracy? Would you accept an invitation to join, knowing you could never speak about it? Comment below. Because sometimes the most powerful things in the world are the ones we're not allowed to see.